Hello and welcome to another classic guitar video, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Appropriately dressed. Tonight I'm bringing you that special guitar that I've been holding back for about 8 months or so. I got it early in the summer last year. It is a BC Rich NJ series. Yes, NJ series. I had to double check. I haven't seen it so long. 7-string Warlock. Now, I won't call that a rare guitar, but they are semi-uncommon compared to, say, a Fender Strat, even a Mexican or Japanese or Chinese Strat. So they're semi-uncommon. We'll call it that. And it's a 7-string. I bought it fairly cheap from a friend of mine. It's got 2 broken strings on it that are missing. Hasn't been touched in quite a while. It's only a few years old. It's going to be a 2-night project because, unfortunately, I do not have a spare set of 7-string for it, so I will have to get those tomorrow. So I'm going to split this video into 2 days and project into 2 days, and we'll get started.
And Bavarian Edge comes with our lifetime.
And here it is.
If it ever wears or breaks, you'll get your money back. There's more.
Yeah.
Free. That's right, free shipping. Get your Bavarian Edge and free shipping for $19.99.
It has the Floyd Rose tremolo on it, 2 humbuckers, got the diamond inlays, and I think I can show you the headstock pretty easily. And it is a bolt-on. It's not a neck through, which is a shame. Yeah, it's a 2012. And it's fairly low serial number, 74. So it's a very early production, and it's made in Korea. So this guitar is actually going to be a keeper. I'm not going to sell this. It's just going to be a keeper. And a friend of mine bought me as a gift. Or not bought me as a gift, he just bought it for me and I paid him back actually. A brand new 7-string locking nut, because unfortunately the top of the locking nut is still there, but for whatever reason the locking pads and the Allens are missing. So I don't know, I'm probably going to just end up using the Allens and the Allen pads, the string pads, and just leave the original bottom portion of the nut in there. So, there's that. And, yeah, put that back in there. So yeah, I can still kind of test play it, even with 4 strings, just to make sure all the electronics work and all that. And it's an all-black guitar, so it shows every speck of dust, every fingerprint, everything on it. And luckily, this guitar is not dented or scratched or dinged or marred in any way. The frets are actually very tarnished and very dirty. Very. So I will get that done and split this into a 2-night project. All in all, it's going to be about 4 hours for this guitar. And again, this is going to be a keeper. It comes in its original a little bit wider BC Rich case. So I'm just going to keep this and enjoy it. Warlock. BC Rich is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, manufacturers of guitar, and the Warlock is one of my favorite bodies ever. So that being said, let's go ahead and give this thing a hear. And tonight I'm just watching, being Saturday, there's no Star Trek on, I'm just watching the Kickboxer movie marathon. So, alright, let's kind of give this thing a semi-play. There you have it. Sounds like one of the tone pod is a little crackly. I can fix that. volume's a little crackly. Spiky. Let's test the switch. The switch works. I don't think I'll be able to play any song on it or anything because it's only got 4 strings, but at least be able to hear it. Broke a string. Yeah. Oh, yeah. These strings are really old. Very tarnished here in the end. That's why it just popped on me. So, yeah. Okay. Definitely going to need a new set of strings. So, there's no test playing this from some sort of chord at any rate. So much for that. But that's alright. I was going to replace all the strings anyway. So, at least I know all the electronics work. And, yeah, these strings are really, really bad and really, really tarnished. So there's no saving any of these strings, not even one. So, yeah, no big deal. Alright, let's start. Take the tremolo arm off. This is a different type of tailpiece system. It's called a Floyd Rose, and it's a floating. That's what gives it its, ooh sound, if you will. And it has fine tuners on it. These are typically hard to work with. If you don't know how to work with them, people end up tuning these, and typically these are supposed to be 100% level with the body. Not supposed to be forward like this or back like that. So most people, when they take them to a guitar shop, if they don't know how to work on them and they give them back to the customer, the tremolo either is way back or real far forward. Because again, it's floating, so by the time you're done tuning the high E string, the low on this end is already way out of tune. Because for every time you're tightening the string, you're doing this to the tremolo, you're pulling it forward. So I have my own special way of securing this, so it's 100% flat, 100%, and then I bring it into intonation, and then bring it into tune, and it's the way it's supposed to be. Alright, let's get started, and I'll get my new strings tomorrow since I don't have any in stock, and yeah. And there's definitely no saving these strings for something else. They're just going to go into the trash, and absolutely no good in any way, shape, or form. I didn't think they would be, so. I think, in fact, these are the original strings on the guitar. And, like I said, the guitar is from 2012. So those strings are 6 years old. So, yeah, okay, here we go. The way you take these strings off is they are held by a little tiny block in here with an Allen wrench. So in order to take these off, I need to get my trusty tool out, and you just kind of, you detune it a little bit, and detune it.
But I don't know you. Who the hell are you? Just someone that's trying to help out, that's all. You think you can come to this city and perform a miracle? You know nothing. You're crazy. Are you gonna get Isabella back? Huh?
You see what happens as I detune it, that the tremolo goes all the way back to whatever its resting position is. And then you just pull it forward, and you take and you loosen these long Allen screws, and they weren't very tight in the first place. Just kind of hand loose almost. And you can pull these out generally by hand, and that's it. And I got to get the little string remnants out of each of them. Ooh, be careful not to let the strings scratch finish.
Good luck.
She's beautiful.
And very expensive.
I want her.
Alright, so
She's very expensive.
How much?
$25,000.
I will need some time to get the money.
No problem. Let's say next week.
Please, don't sell her to anyone else. I want her for some foreign buyers. They'd love her.
Then you'd better hurry.
look at now what you're hearing in the background. It's just a movie. It's off screen, so I'm not showing it. It's just a movie. It's Kickboxer 3. Earlier I watched Kickboxer 1, 2, and Kickboxer 1, and before that I was watching the Leprechaun movies because it's St. Patrick's Day.
I saw a crazy American heading back down that way.
Then I will not have to put
Later on tonight I'm going to be watching Patriot Games, which is Harrison Ford. That movie's set in Ireland, somewhat.
I will wait here. Make sure the crazy man does not come back. You know, Mr. Sloan, even a pig is protected by law.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so one string left to take off, and then we'll set those aside. Yeah, these strings are really tarnished, and maybe some of them even have a little bit of rust spots on them. You know, people's fingers sweat on them, and then they leave the dampness on the string, and then that will actually rust the string. These strings are just steel. They're not even stainless steel. They're just kind of a regular steel. You can get stainless steel strings, but
you'll be on your way.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you.
Good day, Mr. Sloan.
yeah. So far, so good. On this guitar.
Okay, kid, you stay here.
So,
If I see you up there, you are in big trouble. You understand?
gotta get the string remnants out of all these. So I'm gonna have to take.
Yeah, come on, follow me.
Let's see. I might have to get a. Here, I can maybe successfully use the razor blade here. Oop. Yeah, maybe not. Sometimes you have to actually take the Allens out and the blocks out and turn the guitar upside down, which I don't like to necessarily do because you end up maybe losing one of those string blocks. But looks like I'm going to have to just hold my hand over it. Whoops. Ooh, 3 of them came out right in my hand already. And I like to
Hey, bro. Did the Raiders win last night?
put each string block back in its original position, just, you know, just because I can. You can usually tell by looking at the string block which string which hole it belongs, because you can look and the gauge of the string will have marked the string block. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3. This one belongs in here.
Have you or a loved one had hernia mesh implanted specifically
This
for hernia
one
repair and
belongs
had serious complications including infection, wound reopening, chronic
here.
pain, bowel obstruction, or had revision
This
or
one
repair surgery? You may have been a victim of a
belongs
product
in
that
here.
was
Not that it really, like I said, not that it really belongs in there.
Hernia repair surgeries are one of the most common surgeries.
It's just I like to put things back where they originally were. I don't think it's going to matter because I'm probably going to take this tremolo off, out, and it apart and take the parts apart. And, you know, I take the saddles off, I clean, you know, I take the fine tuners off, I take the tremolo system off, and I clean each individual part because if you look here, there's a lot of dust. Very dirty in between all of here. So you just kind of tighten these back up a little hand tight so that way the blocks don't fall out when you take the tremolo out, and then you're looking for one or all the blocks. So you just do that. And then you've got it. So
they spend their days and their nights alone.
Alright.
Animals with broken limbs.
Next is to take off the knobs. And sometimes these knobs of this type that are aluminum with a slight cap on top and are gnarled will have a little tiny set screw on the top, and a lot of people try and pry and pry and pry and they end up scratching everything, trying to pry it off. And then they finally look and go, oh, there's a set screw in there. So these do not have a set screw, so I should be able to just pull these off like that. Just set them aside. These usually come off very easy because they have a plastic insert inside the aluminum shaft there. Aluminum hole, rather.
The situation is urgent, and so we're asking you to join in the next 10 minutes. Visit us at joinaspca.org or call this number now to join.
Set all my tuners
Use your
straight.
checking account or credit card right now, and we'll send you the
I'll move the camera and show you what I'm doing.
free.
And it'll be set for the new strings. And what I do is I set all the holes of the tuning posts open and forward this way. So that way when I put my string in, they'll just go in straight. Now you don't have to do that, but yeah, I like to do it just because it makes your job go a little easier.
I won't stand by while they suffer.
So, okay, now that's exposed all the frets
And the love they deserve. Do it in the next 10 minutes.
and everything, and boy, are they dirty. So whoever played the guitar originally
The animals are in really dire situations.
must have had very dirty hands when they played the guitar.
Come for animals who
So I'm just going to do some basic things tonight. And I'll make sure the neck is tight.
And for a lot of those animals,
And just do these crisscross one at a time.
imminent. They won't survive.
If you've wondered if you're
And I'll go over again.
I can tell you.
Again, what I like to do is, if I can, without stripping anything out, set my screw heads to where they're all facing one direction.
It's only 63 cents.
Especially on necks, I do that on purpose, because if I feel that the neck is becoming loose, you know, I can look at the nut, I can look at the bolt rather, and see if it's, you know, backed off any.
The wood was too strong and useless in wet conditions. But today, lighter technology has come a long way.
Oop, you gotta press down so you don't slip it out of the thing. Now they're all straight. Do the strap
Instead, it uses arc
button.
technology to create a flameless igniting spark.
Yeah, I've been waiting to work on this guitar for quite a while. Just been holding it back, kinda.
And even the wettest conditions can't extinguish. And yes, it can even survive being frozen in a block of ice.
You know, I'll usually hold back my keeper guitars, ones I'm gonna keep. And, yeah, you know, do them on a holiday or something like Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve day or Christmas Day night, rather. Or, you know, I don't know. I do that just for fun, something extra to celebrate a holiday with.
Now the tactical lighter. Okay, go!
I'm going to tighten the backs of the
Now that's what I call military tough.
set screws for the
Here's what happened to a bunch of other lighters we tried.
tuners.
Nothing like it on the market today.
Again, you want a good grip on your screwdriver in case something happens. And you don't want it to slip out the hole and then go against the finish of your guitar. Then you'll be kicking yourself for a year that you scratched your otherwise perfectly finished black guitar. You don't want to over tighten these because you will snap the head right off of these in a lot of cases. I've done it myself a few times. People have bought me guitars and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. These heads snap clean off. So you just want them tight and snug. You see it has 4 tuners on one side and 3 on the other. This isn't my only 7-string guitar. I have 8-string and even a couple of 9s, more than a couple. I think I have 4 9-strings. And all it does is just add a low-end string in most cases. Sometimes some people like to, instead of put one low string, they like to swap out one of the high strings and put, like, say, a 9 here and a 10 here, where otherwise this would be a 9 or a 10. So that they like 2 high ones instead of 2 low ones. Otherwise, the default setting is just an extra low string. So, pretty cool. And again, BC Rich is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, maker of guitar. I have quite a few BC Rich guitars, most of which are keepers. I even have a double neck BC Rich. It's a bitch. It's black. 12-string here, 6-string here, and part of the serial number, the ending number, is its number 666 on the assembly line. So the serial number reads 666, part of the end of the serial number 666. So it's kind of different. Yeah. So we're just gonna tighten these up as I usually do. I keep grabbing the wrong wrench because I'm thinking of something else. Again, you want to turn these slow at first to make sure your pot isn't going to turn with it. If it is, put your screwdriver in it, turn it counterclockwise, so that way you can grab the nut and turn it clockwise. So otherwise, if you just turn it, it's going to take the wires inside and start wrapping them, and then one might crisscross each other and bite into each other, and then you got a ground, and then you got all that to worry about, or it might snap off a wire. And you want to be careful because it's black, you don't want to scratch it. So you just kind of take your time because these nuts typically only have about 2.5 threads on them. They can strip out very fast, very easily. Okay, so that's tight. And I'm going to loosen this nut. You know what, I'm going to put my rag down on it because I don't want to scratch it, because I'm going to go close to the body here. And you can see the way this switch turns, it's kind of switching this way. I like to have my switches facing this way, so that way when you switch back, it's the back pickup. You switch to the middle, it's both pickups, and then when you switch to the front, it's the front pickup. It's just something extra I like to do, and that way people will always know what pickup they're switching. Just loosen it a little bit and do the rest by hand if you can. So I loosen it, and then I see if I can manipulate the switch. Sometimes you can manipulate it without opening the back panel. I'm going to open the back panel anyway, but I'm going to have to open the back panel so I can kind of manipulate the switch. So I wanted to take the back panels off anyway to take pictures of it and inspect them anyway. So here we go on doing that. Yeah, I'll just take the back panels off now.
Senor Branco, I hate to disturb your dinner engagement.
So I hope everybody had a wonderful
Let's go.
St. Patrick's Day. I did.
Come on, move.
I cooked from scratch, corned beef and cabbage, potatoes, carrots, and Irish soda bread, and corned beef hash.
Suggested I talk to you. I hope you don't mind.
And boy, it came out really good. So much so I had 4 helpings.
Well, I like to chat with you.
I'm stuffed.
I want to know if you've seen this girl. Who is she? Why have you destroyed my house? Because you're a pimp. Now you hide it pretty well.
Okay, take this back cover off.
Now somebody took this girl, and I figured it was you. You're gonna
Cover's
jail
clean.
for this.
Nice.
Maybe. Ma'am, do you know what your husband
And
does
here we
for a
are
living?
exposing the
We just want to get the girl back.
back of the tremolo system and the springs, the claw, the adjustment screws. And I'll get all into that, what each of those things do in tomorrow's conclusion video.
His name is Lane. Frankly.
Thanks for the tip. Obrigado, Ciao. That crazy son of a bitch beat the hell out of Branco. But I like that kid. He's got guts. He hasn't got much sense, that's for sure. That's because he wants the girl. And he wants her back. Let him have her. It's not worth it. I'm not so sure. Maybe we can work something out.
Okay,
Yeah.
getting there.
Not bad.
I'll take some pictures of it.
It's freezing cold. Fernando!
You can just stick your fingernails under there. These are shielded, as you can see. Electronics are always shielded. The back of the other one is not shielded because it doesn't need to be, because there's no electronics back there other than the ground wire that's grounded to the claw. But there's the electronics. Grab my camera so I can take some pictures. Alright. Take some good pictures.
I thought I told you to stay put.
I'm going. You could kill me, but I'm going anyway.
You see? You just have to know how to talk to kids. That's true. Unfortunately, I don't know how to talk to them.
Alright. A couple of pictures just for posterity. Just in case I ever sell a guitar. One of the pictures I include is a picture of the guts, if you will. Pots in these are a little bit smaller. They look like 250K pots, which are usually smaller than your typical 500K. Now, if this were a fixer-upper guitar, I would probably take those pots out and put 2 full-sized 500K pots in there. Just because they sound a little better and they have a higher resistance and all that. So okay, now I got a way to grab that switch, so I can kind of turn it and hold it by hand and hold it in the correct position where the pickups are. Back pickup, middle pickups, front pickup. So, okay, grab my rag. again. So put it across. Very carefully grab it and tighten it.
What can I do for you? Where's the girl, man? I'll on her now. No problem. You can have her alive or dead.
You know, one more time to her.
All this shooting and shooting, it's so unnecessary.
It moved. Well, did it move? My eyes adjust. It moved a tiny bit. Sometimes if you're savvy enough, you can move the switch even though it's tight. It's already tight. Move it by hand a little bit. But I can't. It's a little too tight. So I'm going to have to loosen it back up a little more. So I can loosen it and reposition it. There we go. I think that's going to work. Yep. Perfect. Alright. Okay.
Isn't this delightful, gentlemen?
Okay. Next.
At the beach together. I love it. What do you want, Lane? What do I want? I want what I've always wanted.
Okay, the pickups on this, as you notice, don't have a bezel. It's kind of just, it's rowed out. And then they have a set screw here, and a set screw here, and a set screw here, and a set screw here. Now, sometimes they are just what's called flush mount, and you cannot adjust the height of these. These look like they have springs underneath, and they do. You see, you can adjust the height of them. I'm not going to mess with the height now. The only time I raise the height at this point in the guitar is if these are chrome and I want to, like I did on last night's guitar, raise the pickup up so I can polish the edge of the pickups. These I don't need to do that because they're just black and then they're wrapped with kind of a nylon tape. But these do have adjustable pulls, so I'm just going to kind of adjust these by hand real quick.
This is a little training device that developed for endurance.
Again, I just do this by feel.
Hey, Pete, you obviously didn't put enough rocks in. Here, let me make it a little heavier for you. I mean, we want you in top shape, right? Yeah, that should do it. Have a nice day.
Just when you think you're done, you go, oh, there's a seventh one.
March 26th.
It's a 7-string guitar.
Kick up your feet.
Very well, if you insist.
For a different kickboxing movie.
Height is right.
5 nights in a row.
Sublime. Religious experience.
This is 1 week.
Don't be late.
It's got a little kick to it. Kickboxing Week starts Monday, March 26th at 6/5 Central on Sharp.
Kickboxer Week. They're having it again. Okay.
Sometimes you need an expert.
Well, Kickboxer. If you guys and gals know the Kickboxer movies, probably you guys will. With the original one being Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's one of my favorite movie action heroes. Actually, he has a new movie out this week. It's this week or last week. It's called Kickboxer Redemption. It's another Kickboxer movie.
Did you know you could be taking advantage of everything AARP has to offer right now? Join today for just $12. Find out what 37 million AARP members already know. Benefits start instantly.
It's AARP.
Are you joining AARP?
Actually, I just did. I enrolled at 7:02. Saved on concert tickets at 8:10.
Now, sometimes when you adjust these have wax inside. Just to they wax them. They dip them in wax to protect the windings inside. So a lot of times when they do that, there's actually wax in the grooves of the heads of the screw. So you have to kind of dig it out a little. These don't. Or sometimes as you turn them, a little bit of wax comes out on the edge. didn't have too bad of a problem on it with these. These are all feel real good, and my heads are straight. So we're cooking with gas on this. Okay, and then we got a couple of screw heads in the
has been a tremendous resource for that.
I get reliable financial tools and tips.
And we check out the hotel.
and I got a little camera auto adjuster. Got a couple of screw heads in the
for just $12 for your first year.
locking nut, so I'll just tighten those up. Seeing how I'm going to keep this one in here, and in my new package that my friend sent me, gave me, it's got a whole new locking nut, but I'm just going to use the caps and the Allen screws, little Allen bolts, and keep the bottom half for another project guitar. We will eventually get another 7-string guitar of some sort that will have a locking nut, and I'll need that bottom portion. Okay.
Hi, how's it going?
Ooh, move my old strings out of the way here.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner.
And clean them away.
I discovered Nugenics.
I wish my husband did.
It's easy. Just send a text.
And I'm going to take off the truss rod cover, so adjust the truss rod.
Complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenics is a unique.
And I like to polish under the. That way I can polish the head without getting. Seeing how this is a satin finished truss rod cover, if you polish that, you're going to polish streaks in it. Or you're going to end up polishing it, make it shiny or semi-shiny. I don't like to do that. I like to keep the finish original on it. So I won't polish this. I'll just kind of clean it with my rag by hand when I get ready to put it back.
You sleep on a poorly crafted mattress, you
Okay.
might find yourself sipping on a hot one too.
I need to tighten the nuts.
The only mattress with cooling latex over gel memory foam to give you the deepest sleep.
For the head.
At a great price, because you shouldn't have to pay a lot for a great night's sleep.
Order today and save up to $300
So I'm going to very carefully do that. Hold my thumb on it. So that way if it strips off, or it'll keep it from stripping off, it won't strip the head and scratch the post and the nut and the washer and the surface of the head.
No one has seen him anywhere in Rio.
I would not be a happy
I don't know.
camper if that happened.
From what I understand, he's training in secret someplace. Interesting. Yeah. Apparently he's a
So you
very
want to go
dedicated
pretty
boy.
slow,
No distractions at all.
because these are not made of stainless steel. They're just kind of made of a pot metal.
Your boy looks good. Yeah, he sure does.
And they will strip off and break very easily, so you have to learn
First money, I can promise you.
when tight is enough.
I have seen him in the United States.
I'm pretty happy to be working on this guitar. I've been waiting
3-1, and you
to
got
think
it.
about this guitar every week. I'm waiting to work on it.
Let's say $10,000.
So I figured St. Patrick's night was the night to do it.
Put him back. Tesha. Legal. Bye. Ciao.
And last one. Beautiful. Nice. Very nice. Now I will tighten the machine heads. Grab a hold of it and tighten. Move it and do final tighten. Sometimes before I go into final tune, you'll have to give another little turn because it will adjust it into its new tightness, if you will.
nice, refreshing dip in the ocean do that boy a world of good. Why do you do this, Mr. Ray? Do what?
This one's...
The children.
I got it tired.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me that we should be really nice to these little kitties, is that it? Come on.
Okay.
Life is not a walk across an open field, my friend.
Alright.
Or you get
Flip it over.
anyway.
Boy, it's a good thing I tightened the long bolts in the tremolo for those string blocks. Otherwise, I'd have string blocks all over the place and be trying to find 7 of them all over the table or all over the floor. And they're black. So it'd be like good luck finding them all.
No. Listen. They should be thanking me for taking them off the streets. I should be rewarded, really.
That is the beauty of it all, Mr. Lane.
What?
You will be rewarded.
I have to replace this screwdriver pretty soon because
It is the one
these screwdrivers have a lifetime warranty. They're a brand called Wera, W-E-R-A, and they're very good screwdrivers. I highly, highly, highly recommend these screwdrivers. Again, they're called Wera, W-E-R-A. They have a lifetime warranty. The tips of them are hardened and they are laser inscribed, so they have little tiny grippers. But I've used this on over probably 200 guitars and it's starting to wear, so they just send an RMA package and then I mail it back to them and they send me a new one. So my brother gave me these for Christmas a couple Christmases ago. And they are my favorite screwdrivers of all time. I like them better than Snap-on, and I have Snap-on screwdrivers. I have Craftsman screwdrivers. I have Mac. I have Matco. I have pretty much every kind of high-end screwdriver there is. And I always go back to these Weras. So that's a testament to their quality. And maybe I should get them as a show sponsor. Maybe I'll show them this video and say, hey, if you want to be a sponsor. Okay, next step is going to be for me to take a quick break because I'm really tired today because I did a lot cooking and playing and whatnot. Oh, and then I will proceed to do the frets and the fretboard. And then after that I will decide how much further I'm going to go on this guitar. And go from there.
You obviously need more exercise.
Nice calm city.
Move the camera.
It's a water skiing, David.
How's your water skiing?
Not bad.
How about without some?
So these are pretty cool guitars. I like them. And you know, this isn't a very high-end guitar by any stretch of the imagination. New, if memory serves, these were just about $500 brand new. So it's not like this is a $1,500 guitar or anything. But I like it. I like it. It's in such good condition. One of my concerns so far is this pickup is, you know, kind of canted this way. This one's nice and straight, but this one's canted. So I'm probably going to have to unscrew this and see if maybe the tabs got bent or something of the like. So I'm going to go ahead and check that now and see what's under this cavity. Let's see what's going on. Maybe there's a wire in the way or something like that. You don't want to just pull this out because there's springs. You don't want to be losing a spring or one of the screws. These are magnetic, so pickups are magnetic, so you can just kind of go like that and the screw will magnetize to the side of the pickup, so that way you don't lose it until you pull it out. And there it is. So I'm going to put my rag here because I'm going to slightly pull this pickup out so I can inspect it and inspect the cavity to see why it's canting off to one side. Just pull the wire out a little bit and inspect the cavity. And yeah, tabs look good, they're straight. There wasn't any wire in the way that I could see.
No way! Keep the freak away from me! Yeah.
Strange. You know what? I'm going to take a picture of that while it's out. And a lot of times I put these pictures on my website when and if I were to sell this guitar. That way I can kind of prove I worked on it, if you will. So, take the flash off because it's a black guitar and it'll just flash back. So there you have it. There's one of the pickups. Everything's smooth and looks good, so kind of a little dumbfounded as to why I'll clean the cavity, because you can't really polish under there once you've taken the once you put the pickup back in its space. You can't polish the paint that's inside of the. There's really not much to polish. I mean, the paint kind of stops about midway. So I'll just kind of hand clean it. I don't see anything that was in the way of the pickup while it was becoming canted. A little bit of dust there, I'll clean it off. I'll grab these screws so I can put them back.
I'll take all you can handle.
There's no spring. Just, yeah. Oh, I see what they did. See, they have spongy material that's sticky on one side. They stuck it to the back of the pickup, so that acts as a spring.
For that kind of money.
Otherwise, if you adjust the pickup up, you'll have, you know, all the slop around if you don't have anything to take the space up. So they put this sponge material instead of a, you know, a spring here and a spring here. It's kind of reminiscent of if you've ever taken a ballpoint pen apart and you know that little spring that's in there.
We have an expression.
They have one here and one
When the
here.
market changes quickly,
So,
and we get rid of the small
looks good.
players. We call it
Alright,
cleaning out the
we'll
shoe
tuck that
players.
wire back
Are
in
you a shoe
so I
clerk,
can put
Mr.
the
Lane? No,
pickup back in.
you get yourself wet.
I'm going to have to tuck the rest of it in with a pair of small needle nose here. There we go. Okay. And maybe it'll seat good now. Maybe that wire was in the way. You know what, I think maybe that wire was in the way a little bit. Maybe bend that wire in a different position and try and tuck it in further than it was when I took it out.
What are you doing?
Oh yeah, you know what? That feels better. Looks like that spring, the wire was on top of underneath the sponge like this. So I just moved the wire now, and now it's kind of feels like it's fitting flush. So that's good. Now I'm gonna put it back. And the tip of these screwdrivers are magnetic, so it'll pick up the screw, or keep the screw in its head. Oh yeah, it's still canted off to one side a little bit, but I think that's because the sponge has memory from being canted to one side. So I think what I'll do overnight is I'll put something heavy right here, and that'll kind of reform that sponge, and then when I come back I'll take that heavy item off of here, and the sponge should be relatively flat. But I think I'll do that. I'll leave these a little loose. I'll leave these a little loose and put a heavy item on this end of the pickup.
This month on Charge. Watch the best of the West.
The alcohol game's in your blood.
And fix it. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, this one seems fine, and I can see the wire. It's you know, above the piece, but I need to take it out because I need to clean the dust in the cavity, like I did with this one. Because, you know, there's no finger room to polish in there with the pickup in it. So.
Because our claim jobs are available 24/7. We even cover accessories and custom parts. We did get an early start. Just to get to soccer practice. You want me to jump that cactus? All right.
Okay. So, lightly pull up. Yeah.
Staying home can turn into a new experience. Take control of your night and make the party happen. There's always tons of great singles talking on the line. So call now and join the party. You don't have to go out to have a good time.
I think I'll make it look good and
don't wait.
take another picture.
It's free to try.
Take a picture.
And join the party.
It'll last longer.
877-834-4044
As the
now.
old saying goes.
Shirley both need oxygen. Shirley lost her freedom the day she went on oxygen. Mary has the brand new ultra-compact Inogen 1 G4 oxygen concentrator from Inogen. It's the smallest and lightest model we've ever made. Shirley is forced to miss out on everyday activities. Mary fully enjoys her life. Shirley has to wait for tank deliveries and worries about running out of oxygen. But Mary's Inogen 1 G4 makes its own oxygen.
Very good.
Okay. Oxygen she needs anytime, anywhere. Shirley finally listened to Mary and now has more freedom too. It's time for you to
Alright, we'll be right back. I'm going to grab something to drink and
Inogen 1 G4. Act now to start your 30-day risk-free trial. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait and don't accept substitutions. The sooner you call, the sooner you can say goodbye to heavy oxygen tanks for good and reclaim the freedom and independence you deserve. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial.
Call 800-481-4360. Do you have a drawer full of knives but nothing sharp? Stop crushing your food instead of cutting it. What a mess. And don't use fixed edge sharpeners that grind down and destroy your knives. Introducing the Bavarian Edge, the innovative knife sharpener with independent spring action arms that will make your old blades razor sharp in seconds. If you want the sharpest knife possible, you need the Bavarian Edge. Look,
I had to, I tried to turn my lightsaber off.
Spring action sharpeners made of ultra hard tungsten carbide that flex and contour to any blade or angle for the perfect razor sharp edge in an instant. And only Bavarian Edge can sharpen serrated knives. Watch, hold this serrated knife on a cinder block. And with just a few passes through the tungsten carbide sharpeners
inside the cavity now.
It's as sharp as a razor, even cutting through a leather shoe without effort. Your old knives will fillet, cut, chop, slice, and dice just like the day you got them with the Bavarian.
And I've used this rag so many times to polish clean that it's already highly impregnated with polish in it. So I don't need to put any wet polish on there.
Like a hot knife through butter.
I'll wash these in the washing machine about once every 2-3 months. Now I don't use these to clean dirt. I only use these to clean to polish with, and that's it. So I'm not cleaning grease off of the guitar or cleaning, you know, anything like that.
We'll ship it to you free. That's right, free shipping.
Looking pretty darn spiffy.
And free shipping for $19.99. Click or call.
Okay, so
Call 1-800-970-50. That's 1-800-970-50. Or visit Bavarian.
Again, these are just wrapped with kind of a nylon, sticky, one-sided tape. And if you were to unwrap that, you'd see the winding of the pickup and then the wax. So I need to grab my nose so I can shove the string, or I mean this wire rather, back in its hole. Alright. We're doing good. Cooking with gas. Pretty cool BC Rich guitar, you know? I like it. Oops. I don't want to tighten one side too far. Then you won't be able to get the other side in. Because it's, you know, Canada one side or not. I went just slightly more too far on one side there for a second. And again, I'll adjust the pickup height. Oh, once I get the new strings on. Sometimes I've been known to replace these Phillips screws with Allens, just for aesthetics, and they will slip a little less easier than a very small-headed Phillips. After we get the new strings on, like I mentioned. And, okay. Well, let's see how much further I want to go on this guitar tonight. Considering I don't have the strings. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how I feel. I need to take a picture of the fretboard. Or did I do that already? I almost forget. I gotta check my camera and see if I took pictures of the fretboard or not already. And I did not. This is my trusty camera I use. I've shown you guys this before. It's my old Nikon D90. I like it. It's a good camera. I've taken probably, and you won't believe this number, but I've probably taken several 100,000 pictures with this camera. A lot of pictures with it. A lot. Whew, okay. Trusty Nikon D90. Good camera. Okay, well, go ahead and continue this video and polish my frets and fretboard, depending on how much battery power I have in my drill. So we'll check that out first. Looks like I got some good battery power today on that. Go ahead and
Leaving leaving the party early? I'll hook that right now. Why don't you come again?
Go ahead and polish that. Alright. Well, I can't wait to see this when this is done. It really needs it. Some of these frets, there's a few in particular, like this one and this one. They're very, very tarnished. Very tarnished. In fact, these are probably some of the most tarnished frets I've seen on a guitar this year, thus far. So, pretty bad. So, alright, here we go. I'll probably go over this probably about 5 or 6 times rather than my standard 4 times. Starting to lose battery power already. Ah, darn it. Losing battery power. I need a new battery pack. Sometimes if you blow on it and reseat it, it'll kind of get better a little bit sometimes. Yeah, a little bit, not much. Oh dear. Try that again. Well, okay. Might have to polish that a second time tomorrow night when my battery's recharged. I've had this drill quite a while, a couple of summers. And it's not a high-end drill. I think I paid about $30 on sale for this Black & Decker drill. It's been a good drill. Yeah. Black & Decker. I think I can probably buy just a new battery. I have to take down the model number of the battery and see if they still make the battery packs for these, and then just get a new battery pack. Sometimes if we wait a couple of minutes, the battery will kind of give you a little extra oomph. It'll give you a surge. maybe I'll put it back in the charger for a few minutes and see.
We're all ahead left, David.
Put it back in the charger in a few minutes, see if I can get another little boost. Meantime, I'll take this clean rag, clean paper towel, and I'll show you how dirty these fretboards can get with just one swipe. Just one swipe, you can see how dirty the fretboard was. Pretty darn dirty. It was low down and dirty. And I'll go ahead and I'll use my clean rag and whew. Yeah, wow. Pretty dirty. I'll let that battery charge for a little while. And I'll go over it again. And then I think that will be my stopping point for this video on this guitar. And then continue tomorrow when I have my strings. And the long part of the guitar work will be tomorrow, because that's going to entail taking the tremolo off and then taking the saddles off, cleaning it, setting it back into a factory default intonation, cleaning the cavity. That's all going to be very time consuming. The rest of this won't be time consuming at all. So just kind of go over this one more time with the drill. But it looks a sight better. Ooh, it feels better than it was. That's for before, that's for sure. Wait for that battery to charge up about 10-15 minutes or so, and go over it once more, and then that'll be my stopping point until tomorrow. Other than that, yeah. What else can I do? Wait for that battery to charge up a little bit. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll polish the front side of the headstock. Yeah, we'll do that. Let the camera autofocus. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we'll do that, and I'm going to take a picture of before and after on the headstock. I usually don't do that, but since it's BC Rich, I'll do that. Just for fun. Yeah, why not? Okay. Well, black guitars, when you're polishing them, unless they're really marred up or scratched up, you don't want to bear down hard, or you in polishing it, you will actually put micro scratches in it. And one will get done polishing it, and then go for the first wipe down, and go, wait a minute, why are there micro scratches in it? And be like, what the heck what happened? I'm supposed to be polishing this guitar, not making it worse. So if that ever happens, then you kind of have to machine polish it.
The crack in the back, the headset slide, the wild pitch.
To get the micro scratches out.
Spring training double feature. You think I need a nickname? 2 baseball classics with all-star lineups.
So you just want to go
Get ready for opening day.
just kind of the weight of your fingers is enough.
With the best doubleheader tickets in town.
And the finish on the hardware for the nut and the washer is a satin finish, and then for some reason they're satin finished and the rest of it is polished. So I'm kind of trying my best to avoid a polished satin finish.
Sometimes you need an expert.
Just for the sake of not polishing the satin finish off. I've actually had people bring me guitars that were satin finished and wanted me to polish them polished. It's like, well, then why did you buy a satin finished guitar in the first place? And come to find out, the answer is, well, they're cheaper. That kind of used to be the case when satin finished guitars came out. They were kind of cheaper, but now that they've been popularized, the price is almost as much or as much as a regular polished guitar. Some sort of bad spot on the fretboard right here. It's got a little raised spot right here. I'll have to see what that is. I'll have to take a magnifying glass and see what this marred spot. It's kind of a raised spot. I don't know if it's just schmutz or
qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free.
Yeah, it looks like a little piece of schmutz.
Toll free at this number.
Oh, there it goes. It just came right off. Came right off in the rag. Oh, yeah. Okay, anyway. It was schmutz.
As well as pharmacy services, regardless of your age. If you suffer with diabetes and you have insurance,
that's pretty.
we can help. Operators are standing by. Call 800-362-6125. That's 800-362-6125.
Birdie is a birdie. Again, you'd want to do hard, or you'll put micro scratches in it. Let the rag do the work. Just the weight of your fingers, the weight of your hand.
Did you know you could be taking advantage of everything AARP has to offer right now?
You need to go hog wild and put all your body weight into it or anything.
Benefits start instantly.
It's AARP.
Are you joining AARP?
Polished this side of the tuners. It looks like I did a pretty good job of avoiding the satin finish on the nut and the washer of the tuning peg. So that was good. Oh, I need to adjust the do my truss rod adjustment too. This came out pretty nice. Pretty darn good. So, okay, we will see what kind of nut is in there. It should just be a standard Allen, which is what it is.
Maximize your health and so much more.
And since this is a 7-string and the neck is wider, the truss rod adjustment is going to be a little more stiff because you got, more meat to work with in terms of the neck.
I'm nowhere near ready to retire, and AARP has been a tremendous.
We'll see where it is. Usually, if I can find a spot that's in the hex of the Allen that's straight up like this, that's what I like, because then I can adjust one way or the other and find my default spot. But I don't seem to be able to find that spot, so I'll go a little tight and see how tight it is, and then I'll go a little loose and see how loose it is.
So
See how much tighter I want to go. And since the strings aren't on it and I can't take a string and stretch it across and check my bow in the neck, I'm going to have to sit down and really eye this. And I've become very good over the years just by looking straight across to see if I have done this to the neck or that to the neck, or if it's straight. Typically you don't want the neck like this. You don't want it bowed out, and you don't want it way bowed in, and you don't want it flat. You want it kind of a little bit convex like this. I think I need to go just a tad tighter. Yeah. Maybe just a hair more. And it'll be in my upright position that I like. So, here we go for the truss rod adjustment.
Dear Vicky, during my time away from you, I've learned more about the circumstances.
And the movie Kickboxer 4 just came on.
Tom Poe. The same man that had me framed and sent to prison.
Okay.
It started with my brothers, Eric and Kurt. Eric went to Thailand.
I said I wasn't going to polish this. Badge, truss rod cover rather, because it is satin finished. So I won't put any wet polish on it. I'll just go over it very lightly with my hand just to clean any fingerprints off of it. So I'd like to keep the original satin finish as close to its originality as possible. Yeah, so that's better than it was a second ago.
Kurt wouldn't take Eric back to the U.S. until he avenged the defeat. To prepare for his battle with Poe, Kurt studied with the legendary Zian.
Yeah, pretty good.
You must learn to be faster than punch or kick.
So, yeah, the headstock.
After months of training, Kurt was ready to face
The
Tom
headstock
Poe.
came out pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back.
I'm a better fighter than I ever was before. I'll win that fight for you and me.
And I have to switch hands on this one. So my own hand is in the way, I can't see.
He avenged our brother and dishonored Poe. Disgraced by his loss, Poe tracked my brothers down and shot them to death in an ambush. But killing my brothers was not enough. Poe traveled to America to force me to fight him so he might regain his honor.
The most dangerous weapon in the universe is a focused mind.
Having quit fighting to teach, I wanted no part of this war.
David Sloan would give Tom Poe the rematch that his brother Steph denied us.
But to force me into the ring, his men set fire to my gym, killing a young boy. Now I had no choice but to face the enemy.
Again, these screws are very small, the Phillips head, so you want to get a nice good grip when you tighten these. You don't need to crank down on them hard, you just need them tight but snug.
After winning that fight, I thought I'd see the last of Tom Poe. Then you and I met, started our school, and everything was wonderful, Vicky. Until my arrest. But even that isn't enough. I've heard Tom Poe's men, the same ones that framed me, may be after you. You must hide and remain safe until my release. I love you, Vicky.
So not very many people would take this much attention to a simple truss rod cover. Most techs would just put it on there and be done with it in 15-20 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds. But I treat every guitar as if it were a, $1,000 guitar, $5,000 guitar, $10,000 guitar. Realistically used, these guitars will only worth about $400, and that's probably on a good day. But I didn't collect it because it was worth a lot of money. I collected it because I liked it. So, okay, there's the headstock now. Alright, we'll see if the battery is charged up enough to give the fretboard a second run at it very quickly. Okay, instead of starting at the top or bottom, I'm going to start where the frets, the worst frets were, which are starting at about the 11th fret on down. And then if I got any juice left, I'll do the rest. So, there we go. Well, okay. We'll see if that gave me enough to finish here. See what it looks like.
Maybe you've heard of me.
Ooh, wow, yeah. Oh, wow. Gnarly. Well, this is definitely a sight better than it was before. Actually, it looks pretty darn good. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not going to get any better. Okay, I'll go ahead and do my inside of the frets. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good, I must say. These are a little worse than others. You can always tell what kind of music the person played by where the most fret wear is on their guitar. It seems to be right about in here, about the 12th fret to 11th fret down to about the 20th fret
What is it this time? I don't blame you for being bitter. I get busted trying to bring a major dealer to the U.S. for trial.
You weren't supposed to kill him.
Hey, it was him or me. Tom Poe's out of that.
That's not how the court saw it.
She's got my wife's keys. It's been 2 years. She's probably dead.
Maybe you can do something about it. In the last 5 years, Tom Poe's become the most powerful drug lord in Mexico. He's got a damn fortress in the desert. The DEA has been trying to take him out for the last 3 years and has come up empty. We can't get close, but you might.
Yeah.
Every day, the dead, Tom Poe invites all the top fighters from around the world to compete at his compound. The winner takes on Poe for $1 million.
So the agency needs me again, and just like that, I'm out of here.
It's all been arranged. Poe's men in here will be made to think that you're in solitary again. You'll compete in the tournament, if you qualify, that is, under an assumed identity. Remember, if Poe recognizes you, you're dead.
It's been a lot of hard years since Tom Poe's seen me.
Remember, we know you want to rescue your wife. You think that's fine? The prime mission here is the elimination of Poe.
I'll kill him.
Why? He's gonna kill Tom Poe. 21 is a kickboxer movie. I don't know what that means. Kickboxer, I mean, if you're a kickboxer movie fan, rather. Last fret. Okay. Alright. That looks pretty darn spiffy, if I do say so myself. So I'm not going to need to drill again.
March 26th. Kick up your feet.
Very well, if you insist.
For a different kickboxing movie.
Plug this back in. I'm going to see about a new battery on this drill Monday. Now, take after pictures of the fretboard.
Starts Monday, March 26th at 6/5 Central on Charge. The crack of the bat, the head first slide, the wild pitch. Watch Charge's spring training double feature. You think I need a nickname? Two baseball classics with all-star lineups.
Wow, what a freaking difference. Oh my goodness. Wow, 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 and wow. Major difference. Major difference. Major difference. Oh, did I say major difference? Oh, I said major difference, right? Okay, well, I'm going to rest a second here and see if I want to continue on with a little something, or go ahead and make this a stopping point. I'm streaming for exactly an hour and a half. So, yeah. What else can I tell you about this guitar? Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a high-end guitar. It's not really a special guitar. It's special to me, just because it's a BC Rich. I'm a BC Rich aficionado, if you will.
Have you or a loved one had hernia mesh
Yeah.
specifically for hernia repair and
Ebony fretboard. That's why it's a little darker. It does have mother of pearl inlays.
He may have been a victim of a product that was defectively designed.
The pickups are just stock BC Rich.
Hernia repair surgeries are
Everything on this guitar is stock. Nothing has been modified or changed. And I'm probably going to leave it that way. Like I mentioned earlier, I could conceivably put in full-sized 500K pots, but I don't see much of a point in doing that, so I'm just going to leave it that way. Yeah, boy, these frets came out so much better. Wow, just what a difference. What a difference. Just absolutely amazing.
Everyone loves the
Yeah.
delicious taste of crispy bacon, but cooking it in all that pan grease and fat, who wants to eat all that?
BC Rich.
Not you. Introducing bacon banana.
Bernie Rico started BC Rich here locally in Southern California. Always been my favorite maker. I don't necessarily know why, just he had these really great, outrageous shapes. Made his guitars here locally in LA, and then their shop now, their USA custom shop is in locally here to me also. You can look them up online or on Facebook, Twitter. I always liked BC Rich. Always liked them a lot. I got a couple of BC Rich blanks that I'm going to be doing. I have quite a bit of BC Rich blanks. Those of you who know me know how and why I have those blanks. But over here in the corner I have a BC Rich Bitch USA custom shop Bitch blank that's koa, Hawaiian koa wood, and jumbo curly maple, and it's kind of a rare piece. You don't see too many of those bases, and I have the matching neck for it, and I'm going to finish that, and I have all original BC Rich electronics and pickups, and I'm going to do that bass in probably either just a natural clear, or possibly a translucent red, maybe a green. And when that bass is done, I should be able to get maybe $3,000 for it. And I have a lot of other BC Rich blanks. I got another one over there that's a beast. I've got another one in my other shop room that's a 3 pickup. It's got 3 P90 pickup Telecaster body. It's jumbo curly maple. It's a body blank, so I'm going to finish that one too. I'll show you all those, or you can go to my Facebook page, Classic Guitar, and scroll down through my pictures, and you can see pictures of those. I'm pretty sure I have pictures up on those. Of those. If I don't, I'm going to take some pictures of those blanks maybe next week and put them on my Facebook page for you guys. Oh. Okay, well, now they've rusted a little, maybe I'll just kind of polish on the body a little bit. It's black, so you can't polish it too much. It's all said and done, I'm probably going to end up polishing the body, probably. It's not bad, it doesn't have any nicks or scratches in it, but being black, I'm probably going to need to polish it probably 2 to 4 times. So I'll just kind of start my first initial polish tonight. Might as well. Might as well. Again, you don't want to go hard. You just want to go the weight of your fingers, the weight of your hand at most. And if you have any satin finished parts, which this guitar doesn't, other than the tuner bolt and washer, for whatever reason, just avoid those parts. And yeah, and polishing this will come out very, very, very nice.
Hell of a fight, Jack. Hell of a fight. Practically had him sucking dicks in there. I ain't never seen anybody fight like that before. Five centuries ain't gonna get you far in this life. In a mood for some serious action. Depends on your definition of serious. Kind of intellectual or something.
So after I close this video out, I'll put that something heavy on this end of the pickup. It's going to have to be something very heavy, but I have a metal bar I can prop up here on kind of a tripod that I made myself out of an old camera tripod. And I can fixate a lot of weight on one end overnight to kind of reshape that sponge under the pickup, since it kind of became shaped because somebody like over tightened the screws and the wire was under the sponge instead of on top. Yeah, this is going to come out pretty nice. A little bit of, I guess, where somebody polished the body before, and then they left the white polish on the edge of the screw here. I think I can clean that off once I'm done polishing it myself. You touch a black part like that, with polish on it, and then you just leave it, or you don't clean it well, and then that polish kind of turns white over time. And I even polish the little tip, switch tip, just because I can.
Looking pretty good, baby. Looking real good.
Don't piss me off.
Okay. We'll do our first wipe off. And here's the polish on it, and then we'll do our first wipe off and see what it looks like. Oh wow. It looks beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I forgot one little spot though. Get my little stick and do the in-between spot in between the pickup and the neck. Most people forget that. Just lightly go over it. Wow, yeah, the first wipe off looks very good. Oop, I need to do the, getting ahead of myself, do the tops of the pickups. Again, being plastic, you want to press even lighter than you would on the finish. Because it's plastic, and plastic will mar very quickly and easily. So you just kind of barely, unless it's already marred and particularly dirty, then you could bear down on it, but Otherwise, you don't want to. Okay. Oh wow. I'm always shocked and dumbfounded how clean black can come out. It's like I keep saying, black is a very, very unforgiving color, and it shows every fingerprint, smudge, speck of dust, anything. Very unforgiving color. Very. I forgot to do this spot. Very nice. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I'll get something to drink, and I'll finish the other half and be right back.
A simple thank you would do.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You're going to Mexico for that competition, aren't you? When we meet, let's just assume we never met each other.
Jesus.
You had that last word, didn't you?
We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I got a little bit of battery power left, so I think I'm just going to finish this, and that will be my stopping point. Because like I said, I have to get the strings, because I don't have any sets of 7-string in stock available, so I have to go to Guitar Center and get some on the morrow. Okay, now I can take my fingernail and go around and clean where the last person polished this and didn't get all the polish off. So, just kind of very carefully get it, and oh yeah, I got it all. Yeah. The finish on this guitar is by no means perfect. It's very, very nice, but it is not perfect. There's some strum marks here. I'll probably go over this maybe 4 or 5 times, and I can lighten that up. I won't be able to eliminate it, but I will be able to lighten it up.
I just found out about the tournament a few days ago.
Because these don't have pick guards, so anything you strum will just, show doubly on these. So get strum marks off. I just go in one direction real fast. I apply a little bit more pressure, and I go clockwise. Then I go side to side, and up and down. And I'll go crisscross, and crisscross, and then back to counterclockwise. The drive and wipe off. Oh, I already improved that by another 30-35%. As you do each polish, you'll be able to see where the person strummed the most, and it's kind of right here. Kind of like a moon right here, and then there's some here. So I'll go over that. Third time. Counterclockwise. Clockwise. Down. Side to side. Crisscross. Crisscross. Oh. Whew. And buff it out. Oh yeah, it's getting even lighter. Every time I do it, it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. So I think that'll be my stopping point, guys. I don't have the strings and I can't finish it, but I made quite a bit of progress with it. And I must say it looks, even thus far, it looks pretty darn good. Yeah. I'm going to take pictures of this probably Monday. I think I'll be able to take pictures of this because it'll be done. I'll post those on my Facebook page, Classic Guitar, and you guys can check those out. And, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sell this. If somebody walked up to me and said, "Here's $500 for it," I might double think it. But I would have to double think the double think because, you know, I like it, so it would take a fair amount to get me to outright sell it. Maybe if somebody came along with a better, slightly better BC Rich of some sort to trade, that I might consider, maybe, possibly. That would be a big maybe.
But that is not all. If you call now, we'll also upgrade your order to free expedited processing.
This thing is mine. You can't have it. It's one of my most valuable possessions. It really is.
That looks pretty good. I think that's my stopping point. I think that's my stopping point, everyone. Get my strings tomorrow. And then probably first thing will be to remove the tremolo. Take the tremolo apart, clean each individual part, polish each individual part, put it back into a factory intonation, clean and polish the cavity, and then put the tremolo back, put the back covers back on. Then probably put the strings on, and then just get them taut, flip it over. Do the knobs. Put the new string caps on and the Allens in. Flip the guitar over, polish the back, the neck, the back of the headstock, and the tuners. And start the setup. The setup on this is probably going to take me 2 hours just by itself, because these can be difficult to deal with if you do not know how to do them, even for an expert. Some experts don't get them 100% right. So the setup will take quite a while, but it'll be worth it. Alright, guys.
Get him out of here. Excellent, Thomas.
Okay, next. You. And you.
Alright everyone, thanks for watching this video about the BC Rich NJ Series Warlock 7-string. I will finish that tomorrow. I should be able to finish that tomorrow once I have my new strings. And yeah, it'll be a nice piece. Again, happy St. Patrick's Day. And thanks for tuning in.